recording, we would have already had a segment.
I'm watching the peaks.
Man.
Yeah, and it might be popping too.
I think it sounds good.
Let's just go.
Yeah, try not to yell in the mic if you want to.
Welcome to Planet Pert, where you can get in free, but you gotta be a G. And like a Newport short in a Louisiana parish jail, ain't got no filter.
Somebody trying to get rid of a tattoo?
Yeah. Y'all know what it is, man. Planet Pert Podcast, episode number 5. We made it this far. How you guys doing?
I don't know, man. We didn't almost make it
Worst
past
5
4.
weeks of my life.
I'm doing pretty good. I think the rain's finally over. No more screwdrivers in my dick.
So, like, has that ever happened to you while you were biking? Is that why that's such a vivid memory, or like something that you?
Or do you just like screwdrivers and dicks?
No, I was just thinking about like, cause I hate rain. I fucking hate rain.
I feel that.
And like, it makes me want to shove a fucking screwdriver in my dick every time I step outside and it's drizzling.
Why?
Man, that feels like a drop that Pert needs to pull and post.
It's like,
and like whenever anything just gets to us, it's just a screwdriver in the
That
dick.
should be a soundbite. His whole.
No,
makes me want to take a screwdriver in my dick.
Oh, dude.
And like his have that soundbite right there.
I always come up with random shit like that. I remember my last apartment had this neighbor. She used to bring home these random guys.
Yeah.
And like we're outside partying and shit, and she brought this guy and she goes, "Hey, this is everybody, blah blah." I looked at him, I was like, "Have you ever slammed your dick in a car door?" He looked at me and was like, "I gotta go."
Yeah.
So you never met me before. This is the first time.
Ultimate cock block, bro. Ultimate cock block.
Well, that's drunk.
Well, yeah.
That's why I don't drink anymore.
Nobody cared. It happened. It was a great story. I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
All right, man. Y'all gonna be mad. I forgot to turn that second camera on over there.
Oh, fuck it. Start all over. We started over 19 times. Get up. Let me adjust my vintage Whataburger shirt.
I did tell my chicken it'll be an early night.
Oh, we will, man. I got you, man. It may not even be a whole hour. I won't waste your time.
Wow.
I might rant. I don't know.
Wow.
What? Man, I really didn't have much this week. You know.
All right, let's go. Where are we at? Are we trying to get the second camera?
That's up to you. I mean,
we have that. That's I think.
Man, we have that.
If I get that shit in HD, then all right, cool. Fuck it, man. Let's go.
Let's go, man.
Always press record, man. Right?
Always press record.
All right, man. Let me start this shit off with Halloween. Pretty trash. Rained yesterday. Hope Pat didn't get his screwdriver. Kept that shit to himself. But this is like what 4 years in a row, man, that it rained on Halloween.
It really has.
And it's just been kind of subpar, you know, because I like to hit the neighborhood and see which parents dressed up, and I had plans on crashing this party at this little millionaire neighborhood off Memorial. I crashed 2 years ago.
Man,
dog, the dude has a Audi 8, what is it, right? X8 or
R8 or something
whatever.
like that.
The $500,000. How much is that shit? Like that shit cost some bread. He has that and 3 other $250,000 cars, dude. Like he goes all out. So I rode by there yesterday, kind of checked it out. Saw he had the DJ booth set up. Now the year before, this man had the DJ booth. This man had a van flipped over with zombies coming out of the van in the front yard.
Worth it.
This man had 2 flat screen TVs so you can watch the kids on the bull ride that he had installed in the garage.
Worth it. And
he had a shooting gallery, virtual shit, hooked up to 2 fucking TVs, man.
Definitely worth it.
Just balled the hell out. So I just like, okay, every holiday I kind of ride by shit to see if he gonna have a party. So I slid through there, man, and sure enough, he was set up this year. I was like, yes. Man, get home. I didn't make it through the door, dude. Soaking wet.
Yeah.
Very disappointing. Very trash Halloween. I think my wife was more upset that it was raining.
Yeah.
Nate didn't want to go trick-or-treating.
Yeah.
Kind of broke her heart more than he cared because she told him, well, at least we'll let you play Fortnite since you can't go to the Halloween. So he was just like, I don't want to go trick-or-treat. That's just like crack for them. He's like, I don't want to go trick-or-treat.
Man, I refuse to play it because of that, man. Like, I refuse to play it. Every single person that I know has gotten to a point where, like, they really, really are into that game.
But So Halloween for me is special. And I brought it up because that makes 28 years I've been in Houston, man. My mom moved here 1990 on Halloween. Very upsetting day for me and my little brother and my sister because we couldn't go trick or treat. And then we get here, she's like, "Oh, I'll think about it." So then we get here, it's still early enough, you know what I mean? It's like 7:30, 8. We're like, let us just hit a couple of apartments, and she's like, and this is back in the day when mom said no, she meant no. She didn't sneak to the store and buy you candy and do sweet stuff. This was the raw era, man. We're rolling out of the 80s into the 90s at that point. So,
indeed.
But yeah, man. So Halloween is always special to me. I wish I could have got out and enjoyed it just a little bit more. I did see Trey dressed as a huge freaking dinosaur.
No, I did do the dinosaur.
Yeah.
I did the dinosaur at work. That's how.
Why didn't you do the family pack thing, man? With
man,
all
right. So
the Incredibles.
No, we didn't do. We never really do. Man, there's too many opinions in my family. Like none of us like really will cower to the other, and so Emma was Elsa again.
Again, yeah, I've seen
that. Trey was a Pokemon ball, which was cool because it was a blow up costume, and like I really want him to be kind of Trey like and just not give a fuck about.
True. I did see that, and I was like, interesting choice.
Well, it was like, man, that's what you want to wear. All right, you can have it. And like me, I was cool, but let me just tell you, like I will probably not do that again, considering that we went out 15 minutes, maybe 2-3 doors down. It's a good block to be on. Everybody got a little bit of candy, but then the torrential downpour came down.
Yes, man. Yes.
And like I'm sitting over there in a blow up T-Rex with short arms, trying to take a kid in a blown up Pokeball, trying to get him safely across the street. Emma's over in the wagon, just getting drenched in her Elsa wig, but just sitting there, and like it's like a boat just collecting water.
Okay.
And it's like Mary's over like, should we go in? And I'm like, well,
right.
You know what I mean? Like, wow. And then like I had to be dad because I was like, man, no, nobody's gonna get sick on my watch. Everybody's gonna come in. Y'all gonna have all the candy that we have in here.
Facts.
But no, because like for me, October's a big deal for me. I always go hard on Halloween because my dad's birthday is sometime in this month, and I don't know when it is because I don't remember shit like that.
Right.
But like I used to get down when I was a kid, but when Halloween came around, I get to dress up, and anybody who knows me knows, man, I'll put on a costume. I don't give a fuck.
Facts.
I'm not a Halloween person, but last night I sat in traffic for 2.5 fucking hours. I had a meeting in downtown. Ended at 4. I looked out the window at the city city Houston building.
Yeah.
I'm like, I parked at the motherfucking meter. So I had to run 3 blocks with an umbrella, pouring down rain, and then straight shot on I-10, 2.5 hours. Got home and actually had a lot of trick or treaters.
Yeah.
I sat there in the garage, sitting on my ice chest, handing out candy, and the kids that came got a lot of candy because I didn't want to.
Yeah.
Right.
No, shout out to the people who stick at home and do the needful, man, and like pass out candy.
It's my first time actually.
No, that's a really cool thing, right? Wasn't it kind of cool? Like, everybody
it was kind of cool.
up. Yeah.
Because I've always lived in places where we didn't.
Yeah, no. In apartments, like you got like a limited amount of knocks before trick or treating was over. At least for me, I don't know about anybody else.
Or when you live in apartments, you don't even a lot of people don't even buy candy because they don't think they're going to get trick or treaters.
No, that's when you turn off the light and be like, Mom be like, nah, we didn't get no candy. Like,
candy's expensive.
Especially in the bus years. No, we're not stopping off in at the store for candy. Like, nah, that's not how it works.
Interesting, man. You didn't do anything, D? No?
Nah. I mean, it was storming so bad. I was supposed to go work out. Power flashed on and off. And I saw my grill in my backyard flying.
Yeah.
I said, okay, let me just stick around home and make sure my damage, the damage control, I probably need to stay. So I just stuck around until everything calmed down.
Okay. Yeah, it was pretty quiet for me, man. I got to do a little research and a little editing as well, some audio editing and So I mean, those are good days for me, man. It's a lot of learning, this whole process of even just podcasting, man.
No, what he's not saying is
crazy.
that Trey messed up.
Oh yeah,
the audio for the
this week we
in a
won't
row.
be having audio issues, man. So I wake up this morning, make a post about Halloween being trash.
Halloween was trash.
And it's like 7 in the morning, man. My wife's getting ready. It's earlier than that. My wife's getting ready to go to work. She got the kids up there being loud. I forgot to put my time in for end of the month close. So then I woke up to do that.
Mm-hmm.
And so I make a post about it raining the last 4 years and Halloween being a mess. And one of my friends, we do what we normally do on Facebook. We have a ranking session. So we're going back and forth. Ranking. I'm old school. Yeah, you remember that?
I haven't heard it in a while. I haven't heard that term in a while.
Roasting, a roast session, as the young kids call it. Ranking. Yeah. So we're ranking. We're going back and forth. And so I rolled over, go back to sleep, man. Took a little nap. Woke up about 9:30. Got ready to go to work. I'm in there. I'm in there trying to. Oh yeah.
So it's 9:30. I just took another nap. That's how I'm balling.
That's how we do it sometimes. So then I roll over, man, and my messenger app kept flickering. I'm like, why the hell is this thing flickering? It's flickering. So I'm like, what the hell's going on here, man? So I ended up just shutting the phone down, got dressed, went to work, ride into work, turned the phone back on. It's still flickering. So I'm like, what the fuck? Mm-hmm. So I open up Facebook. Facebook tells me, you've been reported, or you post. No one reported this, and this is one thing I want to tell everybody about Facebook. So basically, I broke the policy and blah blah blah, and with the post. So I'm like, okay, what the hell did I say? So I go and look, and I said, and I think they took it racially when I was saying, I was like, get your black goblin looking ass. I said, boy, you ugly. I was like, boy, you ugly, black goblin looking ass. As in the Green Goblin.
That man a black goblin.
I
felt offended.
But as in the Green Goblin. You feel me? Like no. Not. But that's what I was. That's where I was going. You asshole. That's where I was going with that. I was like, and other stuff, because I was like, get your the Ruby Racks looking ass out of here. Like, we're going back and forth, bro. Like, I thought it was a great roast. I ended up going to sleep, waking up, expecting him to have 100 more on there, and I'll continue with my day. So Facebook banned the Pert Man again. This is my
30 days.
30 days this time. This is my third time being banned. So obviously, what I see the trend of what's going on is they have sweeping spyware app on there looking for words.
Wait.
So
D,
which one got
D,
you got?
D.
Black or Goblin?
D, I just realized why I got off so well with the audio. It's because Pert can't promote the page for the next 30 days.
Yes. I can't. Fuck you. I can't do.
That's how I got off. So he's
gotta have something to do.
Instagram too?
What's that?
Do you get kicked off Instagram? Because Facebook and Instagram.
Yeah, I can't post to Instagram. I can post to Instagram, but I can't share to Facebook. I'm sorry.
Wow.
Okay.
Like,
so you just can't, but you can still use Instagram.
I can't do Messenger. I can't.
I'm saying Instagram.
Yes, I can still Instagram, but I can't send it to Facebook.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, fuck Facebook.
Yeah. So let me just give you a brief history on my bannings, though. Right. My first.
But you've been banned a couple of
Thursdays.
times.
No. Well, this was back in the day. Yes, but they give you a restart after all that. So the first time was when the black dude punched the little 16-year-old girl behind the chicken. Remember the wife?
I do remember that.
The girlfriend beat up the lady that owned the restaurant because the chicken was cold, and then the 350-pound black dude, the little girl comes out the truck, and he punches her. She flies in the air and like lands on top of a trash can or the box or something. He like literally knocked the shit out of her. Feet came up off the ground, dude. So I put on there. I love black people. I hate niggas. I'm black. Like, Facebook doesn't take into consideration that I'm black, and what I was just saying is the Chris Rock thing.
No, I don't think Facebook would care if you're black or not. I think, like you said, they just have that word.
Yeah, they have it.
Yeah.
Okay, so, but I've been called a nigger before on Facebook. Nobody ever. This is previously before they changed their policies, right? Because there's like this new so it's this safe space world, bro. Because I think the reason because my wife today, she goes and put Black Goblin, she didn't get banned. I think because I said get your boy, you ugly. Now they looking at it like I'm cyberbullying. Get your black guy. But if they looked at the whole post, which I know they didn't, because they're just looking at sweepers, they're thinking that I called somebody a black goblin.
Can't you like
I can't. They won't
appeal?
They said their new policy. It tells you on that page we don't do case by case basis anymore. You're basically we'll take your You can make a note. We'll take your recommendation, but we're not going to unlock your shit. It's basically what I got out of the letter. Yes, I am pissed off about Facebook right now. I am big mad.
Like
big
Kanye mad.
Like, are you
Ruth Chris mad?
Like Tupac mad? Like I'm going to spit at the camera mad?
Probably
like the Saints lost. Like Breeze for the season?
Like Kanye West watching the Ray J video, man. You know what I mean? Like,
wow. No, he watched that video a lot of times.
He might get off my
girl. That's true.
Like, no, he
true.
said he watched it
That's
enough
true.
times with Amber Rose.
Yeah, man.
That like he ended up marrying Kim K.
And
he was turned on by that.
You know the second.
That's what he said, dude. It's not me.
It wasn't that good to me. Like,
it's not me, man.
I watched it because I love Kim. I love Kim K when she was more natural. Like I did. I thought she was beautiful the way she was.
Greatest ending to any movie I've ever seen.
Actually,
with a
when the
celebrity
Kardashians
actress.
first came out, you know, reality TV first came out. I actually watched.
No, that ending was great, dude.
It wasn't. I feel like it wasn't as scripted as it was in the latter years when you're watching reality TV. So when it first came out, it was new to us, right? So I'm watching The Bachelors. I'm watching.
I didn't.
That's fine because y'all read books and shit. Yes, y'all smart niggas. Like I was sitting at home.
Nah.
I was sitting at home, and the woman we didn't have the internet wasn't popping like that back in the day, bro. This is before YouTube. This is when Facebook was still trash.
I'm with you.
This is I
can
go on a big rant. I know you did. So I can go on a vicious rant of when we had nothing else to do. When that's what you did was watch TV.
Of course.
So I love them when they were natural, man. I want to get back to my other point when I got banned, and we'll get off of that shit because I'm still upset.
All right.
So ass distracted you.
It did. I started visualizing it and got threw way the fuck off.
What, with Kim K?
Yeah. But I actually had a big crush on Chloe. Even back then, I was like, man, Chloe had them humps.
She was the boss.
But she had them humps, man. She still got them humps.
Well, it's because she's OJ's kid.
And her humps are natural. So the second time I got banned was I shared something, and it was something stupid again. And I actually was like niggas nigging, and then they banned me again. So there's basically trigger words.
Yeah. Well, but I mean,
but there's trigger words.
You see it all the time on them right wing pro Trump sites.
Yeah, but that's my whole thing. It's like the president says more disgusting things than I've ever said on Facebook.
He ain't never said nigger.
Yeah, but I wasn't, even when I said nigger, I wasn't
allegedly there's a
talking. I didn't say it in a hateful way. I was just expressing myself because it's a word in addiction. It's a word in a dictionary though.
Whatever search is designed to detect.
Oh yeah, I know, but it definitely is a sweeper on there. But I'm wondering what the hell was it today? It's because I use, but I'm thinking it's because I look at the algorithm. I'm thinking it's because I use ugly black.
No, I think that you hit too many trigger words on the. See, I'm trying not to go too technical.
Now go ahead.
But like, really, what you did was there's an algorithm, right?
Of course.
And if you hit like, let's just say 3 or above, right? If you hit 3 triggers, then you're flagged. I mean, that's the way it is. That's how I would write it. And so like, ugly, boom, black. All right.
Right.
The combination
So
right
like,
next to each other.
Everybody go out right now
That's
and
B.
make a post that says ugly black goblin.
I can't say that.
Don't. No. And Pat,
But
Pat's smart.
what if a goblin is black?
I'll say ugly white goblin.
Yeah, you can say whatever you want, Pat, but Pat's smart. He knows.
All right, but why don't you post a picture of a black goblin and say ugly black
hell
goblin?
no.
See, that's what I didn't understand because like
I still can't say that.
It's worse things I said on that post.
All right.
Like, there's worse roast that I said on that post, and I was like, that's the one.
I hear you.
Even everybody else is like, that's all you said. It's like got to be more to it. I'm like, dude, this is all. They have me on some fucking parole, man. I can't.
I'm
you know,
sure. I'm
they're
sure
censoring
you're
me, man.
gonna.
They're censoring
Man,
me.
I'm sure you're in a
They're
collection.
trying to 6ix9ine me, man.
Man,
They're trying to 6ix9ine.
You know what's gonna happen?
They're trying to 6ix9ine me,
If
man.
I said ugly black goblin, I'm gonna run for president in 10 years, and that shit's gonna come back and haunt me.
yeah, dude.
But I didn't
But
mean.
who said you had to refer to black people?
That's my whole point, and I wasn't.
That's all I said was everybody needs to post ugly black goblin in the
And-
post
and
randomly
see what happens.
Everyone gets banned.
Because think about it now. We're roasting back and forth. Because I said that's when I was like with the Scooby Doo. I was like, boy, if you don't get your raggy way the Ruby Racks looking ass out of here, you know. And then he comes back with something, and we're going back and forth. So to me, if they paid attention to the post, they would see that we were talking about characters. Because I initially said I was like, nigga, if you don't get your Ninja Turtle nose looking ass out of here,
Nobody's looking.
I know it's all.
Yeah.
So
Right.
ruined my life for 30 days, and not that Facebook is my life. But what I'm telling you,
they impose their will upon you.
what I'm telling you is,
You
like,
feel oppressed.
people message me on Messenger. My bike group, our meetup thing was on Messenger. I
Yeah.
had to rearrange everything today and jump on the group me
Oh,
and
that's
have
the
people
reason
add
why
me.
he was on the group me.
Yes, I'm banned.
Because he's banned.
Oh, you didn't know? Oh.
Yeah.
No, man.
Well, I can't say. I couldn't tell people I'm banned because they won't let me post. I can't even like your pictures.
I've been on Facebook since you had to have a college email.
Yes, I
get.
still
Right.
have my college email.
Right.
And
I've
so,
been
like,
The
I've been
freaking
on there
EU.
so long that, like, I missed the Instagram wave. I missed the Twitter wave. I missed all of them. Because, like, anybody who's ever seen my Facebook page, y'all know I post, like, 19 posts a second, maybe. It depends on how fast I'm really pushing share.
So,
On something.
I'm gonna spin this shit, man, because so we seen 6ix9ine's banned from saying Treyway, hanging with Treyway. I understand hanging with
All right,
Treyway,
so-
right? Well,
okay.
let me just get to it because
Why is he banned from saying it in the first place?
Well, because it's a known gang.
Okay, so I'm saying, what was the judge's?
He's on probation for 4 years.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
for
while
that
he's
case.
on probation,
And
he
they-
can't talk about that
Treyway
affiliate.
or hang with Treyway.
So is he trying to prove he's not a part of it?
No, this is part of their stipulation. The judge told him he can't do this. This is where I want to go with that. Are we living in a censorship world where Facebook can tell me the words that I can say? Also, on top of that, the same thing with 6ix9ine. This is a human being, and the judge is telling this man he can't say these words.
Nah.
Well, he's a red,
Right, no, I'm just
rainbow
saying,
head. That's
like that you just use human being to describe the guy.
Yeah.
Is Treyway?
Well,
But
is
no.
Treyway-
But I'm saying, like, it's like if it was part of whatever charge he got, and it was like he's trying to claim, oh, I'm not no gang member, I'm this and that. I'm saying, is that the reason why they would make that a stipulation or not? Like, he has to be trying to, like, plead something, or there has to be a reason why that is a stipulation versus any other thing he can talk about.
So he was facing a lot of years.
Okay. For what?
The little girl thing, for dry humping a little girl.
Right. Okay.
So they end up not making him a registered sex offender, dropped his shit to a misdemeanor, gave him the probation. So yeah, but you know what I was mentioning to them earlier is like even NBA YoungBoy when he got in trouble early this year for slamming his girl allegedly, whatever the hell happened. They told him he couldn't post on Instagram or social media for 6 months. So his music stuff. So it kind of messed his business up a little bit because he couldn't even promote music. So it's like, this is where we live in, where you can have your First Amendment taken away from you.
Beat a girl on Instagram, yeah.
Well, the videotape came out. That was security footage. He didn't, and then she came out with the black eye. I don't know the details on all that stuff, so I don't want to get too deep.
I'm not. It doesn't even matter the law, the case, but I'm saying it did. Well, okay. Well, I guess he didn't post it.
No, security camera, the security footage. I guess my question.
Because I'm like, if you posted a video of you like doing that, like, yeah, I
20-year-old me, 21-year-old me, 18-year-old me, 25-year-old me is not. The judge would have to suck my dick on that one, and I would have just sat down and did my time.
I've been on felony bond before,
Mhm.
and I'm gonna tell you my situation. Like, I'm not gonna get to my situation, but when I first had a plea out,
Okay.
when I was on bond, when they were doing all that bullshit, the year headache, they were saying there were certain, like I had to turn in the guns that were in my name.
Okay.
And there were certain things I couldn't hang out with anybody. I couldn't be in a car or a room with someone that had a felony, like in the same room at all. And like I've heard in the courtroom, if you were involved in a gang, you could not be associated with that gang.
Okay.
Or you revoke your bond instantly. So that's probably what it is. Like if he says that.
Yeah. Treyway, which is like.
Yeah, it's
his thing, right? So
Treyway is not a person; it's a gang.
Actually, I thought it was a person too. I thought that was his like nickname.
No, yeah. If it's a gang, then yeah,
I think Treyway is the leader of Treyway. So I know because there is a guy that
his question.
I think
is
it's both.
Treyway okay.
It's both.
Because here's the reason why I'm
because
confused.
he kicked people in and out of Treyway, but then the other guy they call him Treyway. So I don't know if they're just under him.
So why he keep saying like Treyway all day, Like, why is he repping another guy?
And the gang. Man, it's 2018, bro.
So
yeah,
that's
and,
a little.
And he got fucking rainbow hair.
So that's a little interesting because like Ebro a couple of weeks ago, because I watched the YouTube,
right?
And he was over once again. Tekashi 6ix9ine was like, "Suck my dick, Ebro." Said some other stuff about his mom.
Yeah.
Stuff like that. But wait. But Ebro, right, was like, "Yo, man, I'm just letting you know. Don't say anything else about my dead mom anymore."
Right.
And don't say this. And then like very, very old school, because I listen to this shit when people talk. And what he was over saying was, "I know where your money comes from.
Okay.
I know who backs you.
Right.
And I know, and I'll blow this whole thing up." And that's what made me like go, huh? And then now hearing that Treyway is not a dude, or he is a dude, but he's also an entity, if you will, right? I'll give him what he says, man. He's made enough money. But that's kind of interesting, right? So with all that Tekashi crap that's going on, my biggest thing with him as just like an outsider who doesn't care, every single song I've ever heard from him, he's not even
yeah.
Somebody was telling me that he's kind of DMX, right? And
Onyx.
Man, I think people
go back.
Onyx got talent though.
I'm not.
I think that people have forgotten about Onyx for what they were, right?
Yeah, I'm talking the yelling shit. I'm not saying.
Yeah,
I'm talking
because Onyx, each one of them had their own run as a solo artist.
He put a little pun wordplay in there too.
Man,
with the bliggy, with the sticky, iggy, that's pun all day, bro. Like if you go back and listen to old pun used to kind of play with those words like that. So he's a combination of those two artists.
Yeah, because he's a New York Hispanic dude. Of course he has. Like that's just what I'm saying. It's like he's not even. Yeah, like when I think of New Yorkers, right? They're wordsmiths. Even Designer, right? Who's considered a mumble artist from there, right? Like even him, he had hard beats that made you know he was from fucking New York, man.
But if you break down Designer,
he actually be saying something.
Man.
He just
it's not even that he's not saying something. With Designer, he has the energy. He has the code words, right? That the young people know, right? The problem with him is that he got blinded by like so many by that Kanye light, and now he's on good music. And then when he dropped his first of that 7-song release rollout bullshit, like nobody listened to it. And like for real, like Designer has melodies. That's the thing that a lot of people say is that the young kids, they have melodies, man.
Man, music is hit or miss nowadays, man.
You think?
Yeah, it is, and you could look at Fetty Wap. I think he put out too many hits back to back. A lot of people think that way.
How is Tiger still in the game?
Because Tiger got away from the Kardashians and the curse.
Oh,
facts. Am I lying? I mean,
it took him a while.
Am I lying?
No, it took him a while.
Before them, right? Deuces.
Yeah.
Rack City.
So you don't blame Birdman? I heard Birdman's back in
He didn't get paid then. Now he's getting paid with the songs that he's putting out now because he got free from Cash Money. You feel me? He didn't get paid his money. He was like, all right, y'all don't want to pay me, at least let me go. They was like, okay, that's cool. Basically. That's how that ended up working out. So back to the question is censorship something that a judge should be allowed to do?
Yeah.
They take it like if you do a crime, they take away. Yeah, they take away your admin rights. Like they took away mine when I was on bond.
Man, like if you're trying to stay out of jail, then you do whatever you need to do.
I couldn't even talk to
the only one against that.
I couldn't even talk to my cousin
because you're the guy who's like, man,
I think you're looking at your situation and not looking at a situation where it actually would make sense.
All right, so
yours doesn't make sense.
You got so many
as a millionaire, yes, it's fine. But as a regular civilian, dog,
money or not, because millionaires aren't popular. So it has nothing to do with, like, all millionaires aren't popular. That's what I'm meant to say. But I'm saying, like, the point is like, there's situations where that would actually be warranted. Like, if someone's abusing it or someone's threatening you or someone's, like, cyberbullying and stuff. Like, you get too many reports of, like, harassing one person. I can understand saying, hey, all right, well, you cannot say that anymore in public. Because every time you say that, there's a danger to such and such, or there's a danger to this.
I don't think
almost
of it
like
as censorship.
It's not censorship.
Would it be? Okay. Second question is, do you think it may be for his own safety then? Because
no.
Let me tell you why. Because if you look at how reckless he is and Treyway is again, and then the people that he's running with, the inside robbery thing for number one. But I'm talking from the judge. Yes, he already said that. So it's people that was around him. If he ever got robbed, that's what we all think, right? But what I'm saying is, if he's always on the internet trolling and talking all that shit, look at all the gunshots and all this bullshit that's happening around him. So by taking him away from the gang and pulling him out of that culture a little bit, you don't think that'll change a little bit?
Well, first of all, I don't think he got into all this stuff because of gang. I think he got it because of him. Like, it's not like everybody was beefing against Treyway. No, he called out people. He got people want to fight him. They didn't want to go look for everyone in Treyway. They wanted him. So that's why I don't think that it's because of the gangster.
No,
I honestly think that there was something that he was pleading in his case that said, okay, well, fine. If this is what you're going to try to say, or if this is what you want us to believe, then you cannot say this no more. Okay. Like, it has to be that, because again, there's so many other gang-related rappers. You got, Bloods, Crips all over the place. And so if you can say, and then they've had violent history and
he got banned from the Barclays. Barclay? What is it? Barclay?
It doesn't matter.
For the shooting,
right? Is almost up.
For the shooting.
Yeah.
And then at his release, for the last thing, that for the probation thing just now, there's another shooting. I mean, this kid's been around. There were several, and the video shoot, with 50 at the Get the Strap. Somebody started shooting at that. The kid's been around because he's choosing to hang with these people. So this is why. Well, yes,
I think.
Let me tell you why. Because the deal is, I never seen a man want to take on the world by himself. Like, there's very few men, I should say, that felt that way, right?
Okay.
But when you got the squad around you, it is what it is. Pac said you ain't shit without your homeboys. I feel like this is one of those situations. It's facts. I just feel like this is one of those situations because I'm not finna fight 5 niggas at the club by myself. I'll bow down to that. Be like, you got it.
The only thing
next week, and I come 20 deep, we gonna have a problem.
But see, is that what he's saying though? Because he ain't going around saying we the kings of New York. I am. He ain't going around saying you ain't gonna touch us. He said y'all ain't gonna touch me. He ain't saying, he ain't going around bragging about the gang. He's going around saying, I ain't nobody gonna run up on me. I come everywhere I go. Like I said, I could see if he was claiming the gang and said my gang is the biggest gang, and or ain't nobody gonna run up on my gang. But he never says that.
So this is just like what?
So that's why I'm
I think
trolling, super trolling.
No,
I think that's all he's doing is trolling.
Yeah. I think it's simpler than that. I think the judge can't honestly say that he's treating them any different than somebody who is a suspected gang member in an assault case.
Okay.
Otherwise, it's a mistrial, and with somebody with as much money as he has, his lawyers are just waiting for him to be able to get one of the rich ways out of jail. There's a reason why the Monopoly game gives you a get out of jail card, and you can pay $50 to get it from somebody else.
So I'm not mad at the censorship of that kid because I really feel like it will save his life. There's enough damage that he's already done. Don't get me wrong. I just feel like maybe it'll give him a little bit more time. And I'm not wishing death on him, but because maybe he'll grow. Maybe he'll go on an apology tour. I don't know, man. We change as we get older.
That's 100% facts, but I think there's other things he can say to get his life.
How old is he?
You know what I'm saying? I don't think banning him.
21.
I don't think telling him he can't rap about Treyway means that his life is safer. He grabbed all other stuff that can get him, that makes a lot of people want to kill him. He wasn't. Treyway wasn't the reason why Jay Princeton was looking for him in Houston. No. Treyway ain't the reason why he got chased out of.
It's a lot of power when you're hiding behind people, though.
No, but I'm saying who's he? He's
no,
not hiding
man,
behind. He's not. It's not like he's saying, "Oh, hey, you can't touch me."
He's always telling somebody to suck his dick.
Bro, he's talking about himself. He ain't talking about other people.
Always.
Why is 50 endorsing him? What's that? What's that all
about?
That's
when
he came up. How did 50 come up the same way?
Okay, that's
only thing difference between him and 50
talent.
Because only difference between him and 50 was 50 didn't have no game.
But 50 also had talent, and he wasn't a troll then.
Yes. It was. How to Rob was a complete troll.
It was a troll song.
Not like,
yeah,
not
it
like,
came
not
out
like,
trolling.
Okay,
not like
so
this though.
so we'll roll into the 50 jive with the trolling too. So I mean, this actually is one of the same. So we can bounce these conversations into each other of the trolling, right? So I feel like at times trolling can hinder your brand when the money starts getting funny. And maybe you're still making 5, 10, 15, 20 million dollars, but you could have been making Drake Wayne money of really maximizing your money and your income, because rolling with a big gang of people like that, you're spending money already, because you got to pay for the entourage, you got to pay people around you. When you don't feed them, then you get kidnapped in the middle of the night, people stealing your jewelry, like all this extra shit, because you're not taking and you're putting their life on the line with your trolling, and you're not feeding your people. You know what I mean? Like, that'll make me come and rob your ass if you sitting up there talking all this shit on the internet, because you're going to be in the middle of us. I'm going to catch some of these shots. You know what I mean? Like, so, and you better be feeding me right. Like, Meek Mill takes care of his team. His whole team eats. That's beautiful, man. Because that's what you want to do when you get put into those situations, man. 50, I feel like, you know, him and Rue is like, man, how long have you been beefing with this man, dog?
You already killed his career. Let it go.
Like, just drop it at this point. But that's my whole point, and his point of being 50 is King Troll. He's been trolling people for a very long time. If anything, Tekashi took a little bit of that. Then with the internet hype, that's 50. It just intensifies, right? And 50's whole Instagram page is a troll page. Like no, I mean, he posted something with his little champagne. You know, when he had the effing vodka. He's very, very good at building up brands and then selling those brands. The water, the effing vodka. Now he got this champagne shit. I guarantee you, once it gets where he needs it to be, he'll offload it. So he's understanding the art of how far you can get away with the trolling. He dialed it back a little bit, and he also knows when to tap the hell out, because he left Rick Ross alone. And I would say that's one beef that he lost. Like, he had to admit that he lost that beef because Rick Ross stayed consistent, kept dropping fire albums on us.
Wasn't there legal issues involved in that?
With the baby mama when
he posted the video.
Yeah, but he had to pay the bag to the baby mama. But 50 Cent's such a fucking great businessman. He sued his lawyers for not representing them right, and they had to pay him like 17 or some crazy amount of millions that he probably ended up paying the chick. So 50 didn't even pay it. Like, the dude's a mastermind. As much as we think that he's a troll and he can ruin his brand, I'm like, damn, now he's trying to get into this Bellator thing and get his hands into that, and now they got to get the strap.
He was already in boxing, though.
Yeah, but Floyd talked about that. The reason why they fell off is because he was trying,
I ain't saying nothing about falling off.
I'm just saying,
he was into that world.
He told us that's what. Yeah. So, man, I think for some people, depending on who you are, trolling can affect your brand, though.
You just have to have a plan, bro. Like, honestly, like I've had like talking to my partner, he was rapping, and he had started like beefing with with a DJ, and I'm like, I would ask him, I'm like, bro, like, what's your plan? Like, do you like? First off, is this someone who's, if you win this beef, if he even responds to you, if you win this beef, what would it pay out?
Right.
Would you actually take a step in your career, or would they say, that's just a no-name rapper who made fun of this guy? You know what I mean? Like, it could be a complete waste of time, or it could be a good move, depending on A, who's your target, and B, what you have planned after that. Because at the end of the day, when you do all that beef stuff, all you're doing is drawing attention to yourself. Now, once you get that attention, it's up to you to do what you do with it.
Yeah. Yes.
You know what I'm saying? Like, if you're talented, then that talent is going to get exploited because of the attention you brought for yourself.
Okay.
But if you don't have talent after the trolling is over, if you ain't got nothing else to show for it, no one's going to pay attention. You're just going to be, that's that one troll. I'm tired of it. You know what I mean? It's a one-trick pony.
Well, it's kind of like falls back to when we talked about the Marshall Mathers LP.
Okay.
Like my chick, for example, fucking hates Eminem because of that album, and that album was a complete troll album.
I love that album though.
You loved it. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
So she does not want to hear any of his more mature shit because that album.
It ruined it. It ruined
that
the taste
album.
for it.
He was in her mind sexist, made fun of Christopher Reeves with no legs.
True.
And,
Killed his wife.
And so that was the second album, well, third album, but his second big album. So
Right.
every sixth album after that, I put it on. She goes, "Do we have to listen to Eminem?"
Yeah.
This is more of his mature stuff. I don't care to listen to it because
it ruined it.
Talked about raping women and fucking
just ruined it. So
yeah, it's in long term, all this stuff can hurt 50.
So we
unless there's like threats in life.
Bullshit.
Stuff like
People
that.
did get sick of it. People did get sick of it at one point because you look, his music doesn't sell like it used to. It hit a plateau.
But I don't think he has. Does he have music?
I don't think
he still tries to put music out. That's my whole. Yes, exactly. My whole point. Yes, even the last album that he tried to put out, and it don't do what they supposed. And not saying he's gonna go diamond again, right? Because nobody's really doing. Even Eminem's doing that.
No.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But when I ask about like music, because I'm like, okay, I'm looking at Power, I'm looking at a lot of the stuff that he's doing. I'm saying like, is he really like putting music, or does he have like so much other stuff that
It changed my mind about 50 Cent, and I hated 50 Cent because people like he gonna be the next Tupac, and that to me was like a horrible comparison.
Yeah.
No, it's just a horrible comparison, and it made me like I listened to the music and I was like, okay, the Mini Men joint was fire in the club because that's all they play when you was in the club. Like there was songs that was fire, but that in the club was one of them Dre beats that just goes right. But what made me start to like Eminem, I'm not Eminem, but 50, I should say, is the transition to the movies, right? And then the directing, and I was like, man, you know what? He actually is pretty talented. You know what I'm saying? To that extent, as an actor, I started
Did you read the 50th Law?
No, I didn't. I saw that though. But as
you will see why, like you'll answer a lot of questions to the trolling and all that stuff. Like if you read that book,
as an actor, I start to like him more. Yeah, I mean, maybe I'll check it out, man, because like I understand the strategic way that he did all of that stuff. I don't really take it all to heart, but I never really cared for it. I never was a big fan of his music, man. And like I said, for a long time, I wasn't messing with anything.
People from the South wasn't though. I mean, there's not a lot. He had like a lot of his music was liked.
Many men wished death upon me.
Down here,
he had a down south style though.
I don't think so.
Bull.
He didn't have an East Coast style.
So
no, he says that. I'm from New York. I'm from New York, but I sound like I'm Southern.
I don't think so. He can say that all day.
I don't think
so.
With this like, okay.
I don't think he's East Coast style.
With this, it's not. He got.
I didn't think he is either.
Okay,
yeah,
so before
I don't think he had any.
All right, so before he blew up, he was dealing with. This is when I actually liked 50 Cent. Before he blew up, he was dealing with. I heard him on the Juvenile when Juvenile left Cash Money. He was with UTP. He was on there. He had 2 songs on there, and he had a fire ass verse on there, man. But he was hanging around nothing but South niggas. That's because Buck. That's when Buck was messing with Juve. Who else is there? Skip, Wack, UTP guys, and then 50 Cent. Like that was Buck talks about that, and like that was the crew back then. And 50 did, like I said, 50 did to me with the singing thing, bro, because he didn't have bars like a New Yorker. And then at that time, like a lot of cats from the South was doing like that little harmonizing singing. This singing rap isn't like new. Like they've been doing like that type of style. Of Chameleonaire was doing that. Of course Nelly was King Sing, but like,
that dude had nursery rhymes for days.
But it was that monotone, melody driven sound is what I'm talking about. So I think he did have a lot of Southern influence.
You remember him and Nas had a quick beef, right? And Nas put a stop to that really fast. He tried.
I don't remember that.
It was like.
Inform me,
like he went after him saying like he's the new king of queens and all this shit. And,
oh.
And then fucking Nas threw a small diss line at him, and 50 Cent just stopped.
Right.
He didn't even.
And he was claiming king of New York. Like this is why I'm telling you. Like not even saying that. Not I'm saying that matters.
No, but he went straight after Nas though. Like he went
6ix9ine followed his blueprint is where I was going with that. Of the King of New York, the trolling. That's why to answer your own question. Listen to me. That's why he. That's why
6ix9ine doesn't even come close to even being a rapper.
We're not talking talent, Trey. You keep on.
I hear you,
like to get. We both are disgusted by his music. I don't think it's fire at all. Like
it's
at all. I've listened to Gomo.
Like it's just so disappointing because he's trash.
He says his music is trash. He says his music,
but you know
he's
not. He's getting famous off the trolling.
He's just getting bread. He don't want to be a lyricist. He's getting bread. Like you don't have to be a lyricist.
He's doing something right.
Stay in his own lane.
True.
Stay in his lane. If
he's
he tried to
doing
rap,
right.
it wouldn't even.
But would you want to be a millionaire and not to be comfortable in your own shoes, though? And what I mean,
go ahead.
You can't walk amongst the people, right?
Okay.
And you can't be amongst the people. I talked about that with XXXTentacion. Like he did a lot of trolling online. Then he tried to change his life, and then all that stuff happened to him, like the way it happened to him. We talked about this before, where it's like people walk amongst the people. That means, man, I can go to the show with the jury on. Nobody go snatch my shit. You know what I mean? Like you're respected. You're respected. Like, but I'm talking with him is more or less. This guy can't walk down. He can't pretend to be a normal person for a day because there's so many people at his head. So would I want to be a millionaire constantly looking over my shoulder? If I wanted to do that, I would have just kept trapping hard because that was similar to that lifestyle of never being able to be comfortable with money. That's why I told y'all money doesn't equate to happiness for me for that reason though. But
I think
because when the money stops, he still have to pay for security, and you go ahead though.
Well, I just don't think it's that intense. I don't think it's a everyday thing. I think we see it online a lot, and we assume that every day he walks out there like this. I think, when certain stuff happens, it blows up more than other stuff. But I think there's a daily, he's gonna go a few days and ain't like that. Ain't gonna buy it.
No, I think that dude's about to.
Or because of these internet threats or I mean.
He's about to start having to pay those. He's about to start having to pay those bills, man.
And I'm pretty sure.
At
some point,
security
people
costs.
realize. I mean, it's just a
security costs. Even security from a private firm. That's
probably cost more.
So now you don't have tradeaway security anymore. So you have to roll with this security, and you're gonna have to pay these people.
Say you can't talk about it.
No, you can't. He can't hang with him either. That's what I'm saying. That was my point of censorship and also that as well. But like Pat said, he had his guns taken away from him and they can do that. They can tell you not to hang around felons and gang members. The same thing happened with NBA YoungBoy where the judge told him he can't hang around Ben anymore. Ben was like one of his best friends. He's like, man, I'm trying to save his life. I don't want him to be in Baton Rouge. I don't want him to die. I want him to be with me. Judge said he can't be with me right now. So, but I understand that because they tell you who you can and who you can't hang with. I was talking about words when it came down to that. I just feel like, what's the point of being a millionaire if you can't be comfortable though? That's all I'm saying.
I couldn't hang out with my own cousin because he was also
I mean,
he was on
real.
parole, and they said while you're on bond, you cannot hang out with anybody else on parole.
And that's real, man. You don't want to pay that money.
But I don't know. Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you can choose, right? Like you said, if it was your choice, you would have said no.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
So at the end of the day, it just depends on what's more important to you at the time. And if it's like, okay, I'll give you your freedom as long as you agree not to hang out with this person right here. Well, yeah, I don't think there's any other man in the world.
I don't think he loses any stock as a rapper though, because rappers, when you go to jail, when you get out, like the bag is more. So if he's charging $50,000 a show now. When he get out, that show gonna be $100K to book 6ix9ine fresh out of jail. I'm just telling you.
No.
Jail rejuvenated Meek Mill's career.
I understand your point.
Jail rejuvenated Meek Mill's career.
But I don't think I think he just has so much other things because of he got so you sitting next to Robert Kraft. You said you're doing a whole bunch of other stuff besides music now. There's a lot of stuff that he's into.
We forgave the Drake shit after that. Before that,
so what I'm saying is it's more than music.
Am I tripping?
Yes. Right now, if you're only focusing on music, yeah.
I'm talking like Meek was L. Meek had L's for like 2 years. Every time something happened, they'd be like, "Oh, Meek 2 L's, Meek Mill." Oh, L.
But that's not,
like he
to me. That's
we
not
related.
A career
We related L to Meek Mills.
Yes, I've done that on social media all the time. But the point is that is not a career ender. If the fact that we're talking about him,
but when he
means
went to jail for those couple months,
right?
And we did the Free Me campaign, which
I'm
happy he's free.
Yes, but what I'm saying, when he got out, it wasn't about his music. When he got out, it was about the justice system and the reform.
Facts.
That's why that's what people were drawn to more than what's the next Meek Mill song.
I'm just saying.
That's what I'm saying.
My point is, he got out of jail. It rejuvenated his career, regardless what path that he took. It did.
That's true.
All I'm saying is
the man was on the clock, bro.
Well, yeah, but I don't see like his songs now being hot. I don't see he's not topping the charts right now, but they are. He's
people waiting on that album.
Waiting, but he's not. So I'm saying you can't say anything about his music career yet. But what I'm saying, as far as career, I mean, you have to just say celebrity status at that point.
Excited
because there's a lot of other stuff that he's into besides music.
Okay.
Like right now, since he's been out of jail, like the people that he's been seen around with and doing stuff with business with. Way past music.
I think for every single rapper that you hear that makes a bit of money coming out of jail, there's all right. So this is the way I see it, right? I think just like with that rapper starter kit, where you get the chain, the grill, and the girl, and the car, and the house that you can't afford, you also get that more money, more problems. And right now, Tekashi, what he's about to realize is that without Treyway paying for security, you're going to have to pay that bill for security.
Exactly.
That's my point. Without Treyway over here carting you around New York where it takes 3 hours to get anywhere, you're going to try to still take that big-ass car somewhere and park it somewhere. So all these bills are about to come due, and it's going to become the youth. So, like, it was nice seeing that video of you dumping out $1 million cash for your mom.
Yeah,
I appreciated
How
that.
long is he on
4
but
years.
You should have held that money in a mattress because that was tax-free cash, bro.
Exactly. And
you should have kept that because let me just tell you.
Is that his only $1 million?
No. What people don't realize is that lawyers get paid by the hour, no matter if they're sitting on the toilet thinking about you, or whether or not they're in the courtroom. And so a lawyer is gonna get paid. And they know ways in which to get your money from other places that pay you. So let me just tell you, now you have a bill, my brother, and you're going to have a bill for every single one that came due. Because just like Jay Prince said in his autobiography, how he had to go up against the United States of America, he had his money right. Because Tupac said it right. Awesome. If you're going to go to war, have your money right.
Facts.
That story was crazy.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
Yeah. At the end of the day, man, I'm waiting to see what happened, man. Yeah. You know, and I mean that's all we could sit back and do. Like I said, I don't wish anything bad. I don't know. I hope he really get his shit together.
I would assume that he would have that he would think, okay, you just got to change the way you move at this point.
But him being so young and the level of his troll, I think he can tarnish his brand a little bit and not getting booked for certain things. And you know, even at the thing that Ebro and them, what's the Summer Jam?
Summer Jam.
When they wouldn't let him come in or something like that, man. He couldn't even, like, that's huge for him. And,
it was huge for him.
And it would have tore the building down. It would have had.
It would have been crazy.
It would have been crazy, but
it would have been nuts.
You mess up opportunities because at this point, I felt like you made your name already. Or you're going to live the rest of your life doing this until eventually somebody touches you.
But wasn't like
because people will touch you
from his interview or something like on the Breakfast Club or whatnot. Like, wasn't his rebuttal like he's not missing any money? Like he's still getting checked.
No,
I mean what I'm saying is what's the name? Charlemagne's point was the same thing you said.
Well, he was saying
I'm saying he said the exact same thing you were talking about. Like all this trolling is going to end up. Like, it's going to hurt you. Now, he asked his manager. He was like, don't you ever think, like, that all this is hurting your money, hurting this. And you said something about 3 shows he missed. Or 2 shows, arguing going back.
After that, a couple dropped off. But you're right. Yes.
Yeah. So I'm like, his rebuttal was, I'm not missing any,
could have been doing more shows. You could have been doing more shows is what I'm saying. So you just because you're doing 50, you could have been doing 100. If you're doing 100, you could have been doing 200. That's my only argument to that. Like, you are missing money because they don't need to pack you in there. There's so many artists out here nowadays in this microwave era that'll fill up that arena, and they're festival people anyway. 6ix9ine by himself is not about to sell out. But you put 6ix9ine with Slump God, with you know, with these other people who's festival artists who that's why he goes to the European thing, because it's like when you see 50, 20, 100,000 people out there, those are festivals, man. They didn't come there just to see 6ix9ine. They came there to see a ton of people. Trust me, those tickets were probably fair price, but they got 100,000 motherfuckers in there. You know, times $20 a ticket.
Absolutely,
that's a lot of money we're talking about. Then the beers we're gonna charge you fucking $8 for, and everything else that comes, parking and everything else that comes along with that. They're gonna get their money. I'm not talking about. I don't even care about the money thing. I'm talking about safety. This man has a baby. This man has a girlfriend. Like this, it's way beyond just you, because people will, to get to you, people will start doing other things to people around you. Exactly why, if they didn't kidnap him, they could have went. They knew where he lived at. They could have went and kidnapped his old lady. They could have went. They could have went and kidnapped his baby, bro. Like, and you could think that things like that do not happen, but they do.
That story was just kind of fishy to me, though. Like,
well, I mean, I believe it.
It sounded plausible.
I definitely believe it.
It sounded plausible once he said it was
My friend came up
inside.
with the conspiracy that his jeweler actually. My friend a week before said, you know, his jeweler, my buddy knows his jeweler, and his jeweler sets up his clients all the time and get robbed, so they'll come back and buy more jewelry from him, and he'll just either melt it down or make it over. That man made all that jewelry back over in 10 days. He was like, yeah, it's a miracle. We did it in 10 days and whoop-de-whoop. And then when I saw that, the light bulb went out in my head for the conspiracy. Like, did this man set up 6ix9ine to be robbed? He does know his address because he got his billing information. Fact or not?
That dude sold him the same metal twice, bro.
Yes. And I really believe and made $2 million.
Because everybody thinks that those chains are solid. Nah, man. Those chains aren't solid.
No, we talked about gold, you know, and broke that shit down, man. But like I feel like that's kind of like where that led out to. But you know, like I said, man, I mean, 50 great businessman behind the scenes. He knows what he's doing. The young kid, man, I think he's a loose cannon with it, and maybe need to pipe that down.
I don't think it's censorship, though.
Well, we'll see what happens. Like I said, we'll see what happens. Like, last thing I want to talk about is, it's pretty stupid, really, because I'm just wondering, do people really think that this shit happens, man? Like, scrolling down the timeline, and let's see here with KHOU, or, right? No.
Oh, the candy?
Yeah, click to Houston. I'm sorry. So, Channel 2 News.
They're just fucking fishing.
They're saying that packaging for fake candy looks nearly identical to real items with similar logos and names. However, the ingredients are most definitely different. Lookalike Halloween candy may be laced with meth and marijuana.
I'll tell you something. No fucking dope dealers handing out free fucking. I feel like, you know, rules. I mean, that is the news. Wrapping up fucking fake ass
the news,
shit.
right?
Because every single year, there's always the same people who are always putting something in the candy. You don't get me wrong. Like, there are some sickos out there, but
meth ain't cheap.
Meth is not cheap.
You're not gonna go through all that cooking.
and he said it all smooth. Meth ain't cheap.
And the thing, it was like a big piece of candy too. That's a rock.
Nah. There's no way possible that somebody's just like, man, I'm going to cook all this up, put it in some nice packaging that looks like candy just to get people fucked up for free.
We get this every year, and I've never seen one story. And the DA is the one who put this shit out, right? But I'm wondering, like, where the hell do they get this information from, man? Because that's like totally bogus information, man. I don't think that I've never, in my days of being a hood star, ever would think, okay, I'm going to bake up some fucking brownies and pass them out to the kids. Like, most drug dealers that I've ever met in my life were actually really nice human beings, man. Like looked out for the kids, loved the kids, weren't trying to, you know, in our day, right? We scurried away younger kids trying to buy drugs. Like, get your ass out of here, get home. Nowadays, I've seen it in my apartments now, where these guys are walking around with 12-year-old little girls, and I'm like, I know you the weed man, bro, but like, that's Okay, keep playing. You know what I mean? Because that's just gonna turn into a bad situation for you.
There ain't no
because if
rules
something happened to her,
anymore,
then it's like, okay, well then we saw, then you'll be wrapped up in some shit that you don't want to be wrapped up in.
Yeah.
There are no rules anymore. There's no etiquette to a lot of things. I believe we had even street etiquette and drug etiquette. Like, tell me right now.
There used to
when
be
you were 10 years old, you could just pull up to the like, no, you gave it to the homie who was older, and then he had to go get the shit for you. Fact or not?
Like, there are rules you couldn't sell to pregnant women.
Facts.
There were rules that, like, you don't fuck around with kids. Like, that one who always is stealing that person's shit.
Where the fuck are these samples at? I need edibles.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, come on, people. Like, who's just giving away drugs for free?
No one's giving away drugs.
They did that with the ecstasy thing when, when that shit was booming. They were like, oh, yeah, watch out. They may be putting ecstasy. I'm like, it's open fucking candy. Who's giving away K-Packs?
No one's, trust me, no one's giving away free ecstasy.
For what?
There was no double strap,
not
triple
even knowing
strap.
It's not like, what'd you expect the kid to come back the next day? Like, can I get 4 more?
I don't know where I got this shit from,
I'm
right?
only having out samples so you can come back to
like,
kids.
I don't even know where the fuck this shit comes from. Like, how can I pinpoint where?
No, but there's real people who have never ever dabbled in that way who like really do. Like, man, dude, like I know some people who, like, I'm amazed by what they don't know and what I do, and so I think something's wrong with me because I know certain terms. Like when somebody's talking, I gotta act like no, I don't know it either.
Right.
And it's like, man, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Like I said, we had etiquette with that. You couldn't talk on the phone to some people I knew.
No.
You know what I mean? Like it was like, hey, I need 2 t-shirts and a pair of pants. You know what I mean? Like, like you had to talk in like code. You know? Like,
we were some paranoid motherfuckers.
No, we were right though, because they were listening to us.
They were.
They were listening.
Not like
to
they do
us.
nowadays.
No, and then these niggas
It's
are doing it online.
easier
They're
now.
doing. Okay, we talked about algorithm. This is gonna full fucking circle back to the first conversation about Facebook, right? This is full circle, man. So if they could find me saying ugly, black, goblin, and hit those algorithms, and I bust too many, you don't think when these dudes is posting weed and drugs, like, oh, got lean on, got this, got perp on deck.
But they
you don't think
found. But a barbershop cop come in. All he do is just be sitting on his little tablet, and just be busting boys.
Right. Yeah.
So I mean, I don't even think. Well, I guess it would make sense not to censor that, just so they can get caught.
True.
You know what I mean? Like, the police probably sitting like, nah, chill.
Look at this dumb
Let
motherfucker. Yeah. Let it build up.
Let me follow him.
Like,
you know what I mean? Let me follow that guy.
Let it build up.
But I mean, and then they go through the whole, like, you know, when you post a pic, they got to review it to make sure that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking like.
But you know, so many people, like, there's so many people that have been busted for this shit, man. Like, I forgot whose main lean man got caught, but one of the rappers, like, it was a bunch of rappers. This white dude. There was like their main lean plug, and he's online with the bottles. He's online talking about the lean,
saying who he's
broadcasting and taking the pictures with the fucking rapper. The dude had like $3 million or some crazy ass shit. Like, posted the hell up, bro. Like, there has to be a line of, my nigga, you're not famous. You're rich. I don't understand why people want to be rich and famous. Because if you gave me an option, I'd rather just be rich. Fact or not?
Facts.
It's you.
No, man.
But I'm saying,
famous
like,
isn't fun.
Does it make sense? Yeah.
Everybody who's been famous, they're all unhappy.
Because either way it go, if we were rich, if we were low key rich, bro, like,
I wouldn't spend my time or my money letting everyone else know that.
Because we still gonna have AWP and everybody gonna know who we are
I can
anyway.
do what I want to do in life without broadcasting it to the world.
That's interesting.
True.
I don't think.
Like, now that we've kind of become worldly men.
Okay.
Right? And you know, like, back in the day, they would always be like, well, a rich man doesn't wear high dollar jeans and high dollar shoes and stuff like that. Now that we're like grown ass men, how do you know when somebody really does have money, and how do you know when somebody's faking it?
You can't tell.
You don't know.
No.
I mean, unless you have the time to research if your bank account is really what you say it is.
See, I usually found that the people.
I don't think I care about someone else's money that much to really find out.
Yeah, like most people who have their cash, they're not worried about your cash.
Right. Yeah.
True.
Like they're not worried.
That's how you know you. I guess that's the only way you know tell you got money is like if I'm not worried about your pockets. Then.
Like it's usually like the people who are really like really in your money, man. And it's like those ones who are always talking about it, always talking about they got a lot of it, and you're just like, oh. And that's what I found as I've gotten older is that there's certain lessons that we should have been passed down, like how to like really be a gentleman, right? Like when I watch all those old gangster movies and Goodfellas and shit like that, they all had like a little hierarchy, you know, where like the old respected gangster.
Well, I mean, that's the way that we were raised, though, Trey. You have to you have to really put that into accountability, man. Like we came up. You have to respect your elders. Or you have to. So like a lot of the stuff that I learned was from the older people. You know, I actually bought my first car from a member of the Gotti Mafia. You know, and he used to sit me down, burn one, and just tell me the stories, man, and tell me like how to do this. And it was crazy to him because he's like, you young guys run the street. I didn't understand what he meant then, but I get it now. You know what I mean? Like the streets is a young man's sport, and we do run the street. But back in the day, the old heads ran the street. They made the moves, and he had to see that transition change. You know, and it's at the time I'm blinded by it because I am a young guy, and I get what he was saying, but I was like, no, because the OGs were still the plugs. That's not what he was saying.
Do you think stuff is not passed down, or just people don't give a shit?
I don't think
because I think anything
it's a combination of the both.
I don't think no lessons learned we can't see now. I think there's just certain people that don't like. I guess I'm coming from that conversation we had about when I asked you if Kanye got Larry Hoover out, would it make a difference?
Right.
And what you were saying is based on I guess whoever you talked to from Chicago. The mentality and where they are now, it wouldn't matter if Jesus came back together. They still gonna shoot it up.
Yes.
So like when we're looking at like the information that you're saying, if we should have had, I don't think there's no information that we can't get. I think at this point people just don't give a damn. Because you can't say that all the lessons that should have been taught from back then, you can't go and listen to someone from that era and get that information right now. It's not like the information is lost. The information is out there. And it's not even like there's no secret information. It's just common sense stuff.
True.
You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, it's really just common sense.
True.
And so I think, I don't think there's a lot of people give a damn.
Okay.
B, I think I think based on how the world is and how everyone wants to see stuff, like when stuff happens, pull out your phone and show the world.
Yeah.
Or like the fact that, you can put yourself from your room and your privacy to the rest of the world in like 2 seconds from the phone to YouTube. Like, it almost benefits for the shock value type of, I just want to show the world that I'm doing something stupid type of thing.
It's a new crave.
Definitely.
It's a new crave. And it's a new addiction.
Definitely. Because I honestly don't think that if back in our day we had YouTube, it'll still be a lot of dumb stuff going on online. Now the big difference, the big heavy hitters still would have stayed away from it.
True.
But the younger generation during that time, if we would have had that social media and that technology, it would have been a lot of dumb people still doing that.
I can see that.
You know what I mean?
I can see
Because
that.
I don't think at any given era, everyone was the same. There was always a dumb part and a good part. You know what I mean? And the just difference is we got the certain technology that puts us out in the world. Back then, we didn't have that.
We didn't have it.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
No, the world is definitely smaller.
Definitely changing, man. All right, man. Like I said, this is not going to be a very long podcast today. We're going to keep it short. Patty needs to go home and cuddle. You know, he still cuddles. Me and Trey, we're past cuddle.
Oh, of course, man. I'm on my third page in Pornhub home site. You know what I'm saying? Like,
wow, he made past the first page.
Jack it off.
I ain't got no screwdrivers though, Pet. I ain't trying to.
I do want to implement a new segment, man. I want to play this song from my guy Redeem, man. My guy, aka Rolo, guy I grew up with. Great story, man. I'm gonna invite him to the 2.0 one day, because he came from the same thing that I came from. And just the transition, man. He transitioned into doing Christian rap, or to me, I'm gonna let y'all listen to it because I feel like although he does that, it doesn't really sound like it. If that makes any sense, like it's not overly God. It's just very spiritual, and yeah, man, I just want to do an artist spotlight. We'll do different creators. Doesn't have to necessarily be rap or music. It can be whatever you do. We will be looking for that. And if you guys are interested out there, hit us up, man, and we'll try to give you a little bit of limelight as well. I did get permission to play this song, so YouTube, Spotify, whatever the fuck this is on, get off my dick.
With a screwdriver.
Great is great.
All right. Give me just a second. Let me get the aux going. Are you all right, Trey?
Man, I'm all right. Oh, I was in key. I'm down.
Lately I've been losing my mind. Focus on the wrong, I think I'm wasting my time. All of my wrongs. All of my wrongs. All of my wrongs. All of my wrongs. Yeah. I'm digging your style, no doubt. Loving your smile, no doubt. We can go miles, no routes. Pound for pound, no bouts. Teach me how to be your student. Every word you speak is ruling. I'm intrigued by your movement, making my eye come out. Heard about you through the others, that's fine. But it's a new day. Love just like untouched wine. When it's a new case, I wish the night goes on. If you can handle that, I'm lighting up this candle wax. Tell me how you do it. Never incongruent. Can't be compared with others who once was there. As I multiply labor. It's a heaven's thing. Put it all in heaven's name. Lately I've been losing my mind. Focus on the wrong, I think I'm wasting my time.
New Redeem.
All of my wrongs. All of my wrongs. All of my wrongs. All of my wrongs. Yeah. I sit back then observe. Potholes, but I swerve. Hard times, but I curve. All off of your word. I sit back then observe. Potholes, but I swerve. Hard times, but I curve. All off of your word. I'm taking a chance now, taking your hand now. This is a stand now. I cannot man down. Life can get hot. Guess I'm a fan now. We cannot stop. Best of the plans now. Tank on full, I ain't gon' eat. You, it ain't no me. Lord, I might OD from this LUVIC. Tank on full, I ain't gon' eat. You, it ain't no me. Lord, I might OD from this LUVIC. As I multiply labor. It's a heaven's thing, put it all in heaven's name. Multiply labor. It's a heaven's thing, put it all in heaven's name. Lately I've been losing my mind.
Love that shit, man.
Focus on the wrong, I think I'm wasting my time.
I dug it. Man, shout out to Power Hits. 281.com.
Yes,
Power
sir.
Hits.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to Facebook, even though we're a little mad at you.
Fuck you.
Can't ban the Pert, man.
You can't. I'm about to make a beat again. You already know how I get down when they do me like that, man. I get in the lab and I just try to create something. So I got 30 days to actually work on
music,
with
man.
the podcast. We got the new camera, working the new camera,
Indeed.
trying to make videos.
Yeah.
So really, it may just be a blessing in disguise for me
Yeah.
because I don't have any distractions. I can't post anything. I delete the apps off of my phone, so you're not one less out of your fucking 7 billion, bitch.
Shout out to YouTube listeners and watchers and all that greatness.
Shout out to my screwdrivers.
Man,
Shout out to the screwdrivers in the world. And shout out.
All right, man.
Pert, let's walk away.
Yes, sir. Thanks for coming out. God bless. Good night. Thank you guys for listening, man. We'll talk to you next week.
That was a good one.
Yep. Yeah, I don't know. I was like, that thing might have been loud on the
I was looking
there, and it's just my mic or my headphones.
and that's